Won 12 overall bodybuilding shows. I sailed around the world 8 times. And then I thought it'd be funny to get into the food space.
Welcome, everyone. Today, my guest is William from The Fitness Meal. William, thank you so much for joining. Please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about your company.
If I may segue, I'm going to start out with this. Can I be unhumble for maybe 3 minutes?
Let's hear it, please.
Okay. I'm very different, and everybody says that, but here's what I'm going to say. Okay. I was the wolf of mortgage. I built the second largest company in the country, and I did it twice. So what? Everybody builds companies, $50 million companies, whatever. I raised 3 amazing daughters, like #1 in their university, top of their fields, bodybuilders, and very humble. Okay, now we're separating the men from the boys a little bit. Now we're gonna get crazy. I won
Let's hear
12
it.
overall bodybuilding shows, including Mr. California. Okay, now we're gonna get really over the like really crazy. I sailed around the world 8 times on my 100-foot yacht, 30,000 hours on the water, and it's a $50,000 a month hobby. And I did it all together. And then I thought it'd be funny to get into the food space. So,
Look at that.
to
Talk
answer
about
your
a hook.
question, I've had a passion for health and fitness for literally 43 years. I got 43 years in it, 30,000 hours in the gym. I've tried everything, I've done everything, and I've learned a lot of things the hard way. Sometimes the best lessons are the hard way. And what's really interesting is about 10 years ago, I started a company called Proof Smart Food, and I was going to take on the food industry. Like, I was going to make a difference
hmm
because so many people, sugar was such a bad thing, but I was ahead of the curve. And kind of that's the way I always am, a little ahead of the curve. People really didn't quite embrace sugar. Remember, the FDA came out with fat-free was the thing, and this big smoke screen that cardiovascular disease was caused by meat. All this stuff was really the sugar lobbyists controlling the FDA and this narrative that killed millions of people. 4,000 people die a day from insulin resistance. That's cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It's all metabolic. What's tragic is 4 out of 10 of our kids are diabetic. And for the first time in history of human beings, 200,000 years, the last 50 years, it's gone from 0% to 40%. And it's tragic. And we're going to live longer than our kids are for the first time in history of mankind. That's a problem. So I thought it'd be funny to get in the space. I had built a big mortgage company and I sold it off, and they were supposed to pay me on terms and they went bankrupt. So I learned a valuable lesson. Don't ever sell on terms. Cash out. And it was devastating because I took 20
Yeah.
years to build this company. I had 800 loan officers, 80 offices, like literally went to the office every day at 7:45 in a suit and tie. Like I'm a consistent dude. And
Yeah, I
so
can
to
tell.
sell
I
it
can
and
tell.
not get paid was like devastating. And then I thought it'd be funny to get in the food space. And you're going against Nestle with 165 brands, the 5th largest corp in the world. And like I went at it. And literally within 8 months, I got a non-compete letter from Nestle.
Nice.
Little
That's when
Bill,
you know you're
right?
doing something good.
Yeah, so I had hooked up with a food scientist from Nestle. He had done the Ultra Hot Pocket, which was a lean version of the Hot Pockets because the Hot Pockets are poison. And I created this protein pocket, and it they sent me a non-compete, right? And I said, okay, no problem, but do me a favor, keep my number because I'm going to build this brand up, and one day I want you to buy me. So that was 10 years ago, and it has been challenging because I didn't have proper capital. To get in the food space, you need $20 million minimum, okay,
hmm
to do it. And I didn't have it. And I learned so many things the hard way, so I just kept at it. So now I have what's called a fitness meal. I've got high protein, low carb burritos, bowls, and cookies. I have the first cookie in the world that's 16 grams of protein, 10 fibers, with 0 sugar, 0 carbs, okay? And they're amazing. They taste great. Kids love them.
Is that your best seller?
No, the burritos are the best seller.
Okay.
The cookies are kind of a new brand. I'm selling in Walmart now, and it's starting to take off. But what's interesting is it's got to taste great, Carl. See, if
Mm.
it doesn't taste great, I don't care if it's going to make you look like you're 20 years old at 100 years old. It's got to taste great. My food products taste great. That's I got a lot of faults, but the quality of the food is there because, for instance, on my burritos, I pay labor to hand roll them. It's
Mm,
expensive. It's the
yeah.
Ritz Carlton of the eating experience. Most companies do it in a machine, and there's this little packed up thing like ultra processed. And my tortilla is amazing, 25 grams of fiber, but it doesn't taste like cardboard, you know? So, yeah, it's pretty
Awesome.
exciting. And then about 2 years ago, I thought I'd be an influencer. I'm going to be an influencer. And oh my God, I got my butt kicked. I started doing all these videos, nobody watched them. I got no traction, and it was really tough. And then I was like, stop. Give people what they want. So
Hmm.
I now use analytics. I do videos based on what people want, and um, it's working out a lot better. I'm getting between 10 and 20,000 views a day. It's probably how you found me. And every day I'm getting more and more views and more traction. But you got to be patient, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's the spirit of things. But that's kind of a little bit of the background and where my passion lies.
Listen, man. When we first started talking before we hit record, you said, "Hey, I'm gonna be one of the most different individuals that you've spoken to." And man, you did not disappoint. You did not
Okay.
disappoint. I expected a lot of things, but not this. So
Oh,
you've done it all, man. You've done it all. So I
I've
mean,
been
let's
rich
get.
twice and poor twice.
All right, so pretty much it's a tie. I hope the third one is gonna be rich again, you know? So
What's funny is, having money makes life a lot easier and a lot more fun. I love experiences. I love creating experience for people. I put all my girls through college. That's a very expensive hobby. Um, and yeah, this time is going to be different because I'm getting like people like you, professionals are getting finding me, and every day I'm getting more and more people being aware and like my purpose is real, man. I want to help the 4,000 people
yeah,
that are dying a day, and how they're hurting themselves. Like I'm 61. I feel like I'm 20. Like
I
literally,
love it.
I don't do drugs. I don't do anything. I just have an abundance of energy, and that's from my diet and my training. You know,
Yep.
and I want to
Yep.
share that. I want to share that. That's really what I want to do.
Diet changed my wife's life. So yes, I've seen it firsthand, and it's amazing, man. So I mean, listen, let's jump into some questions here that I have for you. So, and you kind of answered the first one already, but I want to dive a little bit deeper into it. So, what inspired you to launch ready-to-eat keto meals like burritos and cookies, and why burritos and cookies? That's what I want to know.
So originally, I had launched these three compartment plastic trays. They had meat, riced broccoli, riced cauliflower. They were ugly and they were big.
Hmm.
I thought, well, everybody likes burritos. So I wanted world class nutrition that was easy to prepare. I mean, 4 minutes, you've got a meal ready. Now, my burritos are so powerful, and the fact that they're high protein, high fiber, they stop your appetite. So I have many clients that just eat a burrito and they don't do anything different and lose 10 pounds a month. So I segued it into burritos because everybody likes burritos. You can eat them on the go. Anywhere you're at, you can warm them up. It's just easy, healthy fast food, if that makes sense. And they're
Yep.
delivered to your door. You come home late at night, you can eat at Taco Bell or you can have world class nutrition. It's your pick. So that's why I segued there. And then the cookies, I have a sweet tooth for that night. And so whenever I develop a product, I'm a food scientist. I do all my own product development. If I won't eat it myself, I won't sell it. Now, right there are so many executives, Pepsi, whoever, they will never have their products because they know they're deadly. And
Hmm.
to me, I've always believed in having integrity. And so my integrity is if I don't eat my products daily, I'm not going to sell them. And they serve a
Love it.
function. Those cookies taste good. They're good in your coffee. They're good at night. And the fiber, like the average person gets 2 grams of fiber a day. The recommended daily allowance is 20. And
And
one burrito is 25. One cookie is 10.
nice.
So you're getting a massive amount of fiber. You don't even know it.
I love it. I love it. So if you're working in the office instead of home, that could be something to keep in the back of your mind. It's like, hey, listen, I need to have access to
Yes.
go. Yes, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I love it. I love it, man. So I mean, listen, and you alluded to this at the beginning. Your mission pretty much is saving lives, especially when we're talking about, insulin resistance. So, uh, how have you been able to measure the impact that you've had? Because obviously, if you're selling these meals, you're helping people. So, how do you measure this?
Um, I do personal coaching,
Hmm.
and I've got about 20 personal testimonials. 80 of these people are on high levels of insulin. They were diabetic. It's insanity. You take insulin, then you drink orange juice. You take insulin, you eat a peanut butter jelly. I go, stop the madness. Don't eat carbohydrates. They're all off insulin. And
Hmm.
insulin is such a nasty drug that sometimes you get a fatty liver. And I
Yep.
had two on dialysis because the liver wasn't functioning. And all that healed. Now, I haven't really had an impact, Carl. Like, what I mean by this is, um, I'm just starting to get the word out, and I'm starting to get credibility. And that's a couple of years ago. I'll segue a little bit. I had massive shoulder injuries from bodybuilding. I got a big ego, and I won, blah blah blah, whatever. And I couldn't train. I gained a bunch of weight 5 years ago. Like, I gained like 60, 70 pounds. I never had been fat in my life. And to say I was miserable was an understatement.
Hmm.
And then I got my shoulders replaced and I had my hip replaced and I was able to train again. And now I'm running around at 220 at 9% body fat. I'm a walking testimonial. So I've earned the right to say there's a right way and a wrong way. And I'll tell you, it's such a strong statement. There's a right way. Here's the right way:
Hmm.
the quickest results in the least amount of time with no injury. That's the right way to do things. The wrong way is no results, no injury, and you're taking a lot of time. Like 90% of the people who work out in the gym do it wrong. They're playing games with rubber bands, all this stuff. They're not getting good results. They may be getting some. But my way is, let's do it quickly. And you can take that same thing in relationships, in your career, and everything you do. So that's kind of how I approach things. Is everything in life is either a chicken breast or a donut. And it's a choice every day,
Hmm.
and
Yep.
and
Yep.
that's how I go about it.
I love it, man. I mean, you said something here. I don't completely agree with you because you said, "Oh, you haven't made an impact yet." You definitely have. From what I read, you are in like you're selling in 160 grocery stores, grocery chains, right? So how did you scale from home to supermarkets?
So let me digress on that. That's old news. um,
Tell me the updated news then.
grocery grocery is tricky. You have
Hmm.
slotting fees. You have to cut your margins in half.
Hmm.
I decided to get out of grocery because I wasn't making
Okay.
any money. I was down on the bottom shelf, and it was within 100,000 SKUs.
Hmm.
People online are looking for keto opportunities, so it's a
Hmm.
lot easier to date a woman who's looking to date a guy rather than try to sell them on something they don't want. So I got out of grocery. Now I still will do Costco. That's a possibility because
Hmm.
basically you got one contact and it blows up. But I got out of grocery, and
Okay.
yes, I am making an impact, Carl. I really am. Like, so many people that know me have lost a ton of weight and they drink less and they're doing Diet Coke instead of regular Coke and these things. That's absolutely the truth.
Hmm.
But there's a whole nother chapter out there where people are going to become fundamentally aware. Like 80% of the population is overweight or obese, and 4 out of 10 of our kids are fat, and they have depression, they're on meds, they have all these problems. I have 3 daughters that don't have these problems. Okay, and they excel at everything they do, and they're very calm, right? So this sugar thing creates very ups and downs and moods, and just I see kids, their behavior when they're on high sugar diets, it's over the top. They're not calm. They're
Hmm.
excitable and they're edgy. And when I was heavy, it was a good thing for me, Carl, because I'm a different cat. And I mean this, like, I'm a driven guy. I don't know how to
Hmm.
lose, and I'm very passionate. That's me.
Hmm.
But I have high EQ. That's emotional intelligence.
Hmm.
And what that is, it's compassion, empathy, and being aware of the other person's experience.
Hmm.
A lot of men are not like that. A lot of men grew up in lives where don't spill the milk and be a man and don't cry, and you're not allowed to have emotions. And I'm different that way. And I got fat 5 years ago, and I never understood, Carl. I never understood. I was always like, just eat right. I was like, I had no compassion. And then I started drinking because I was in so much pain and I couldn't work out, and that's bad for me. My whole identity, Carl, my ego comes from my training, my conditioning, and my relationship with my
Of
daughters and my
course.
loved ones. That's what comes from.
Hmm.
So, wow, wow. Anybody says a dad bod's okay is lying. They're lying. I used to walk in somewhere and see somebody in shape. It made me angry. Girls laughed at me. Guys, they laughed at me. They took my weights. Now I can go to the hood where I'm an old white guy. Instant respect. It's unbelievable. Transcends all races. I don't have to say a thing. It's the
Yep.
most magical thing in the world. And I've been blessed with mansions, yachts, cars, all of it. But
Hmm.
conditioning, the respect you get from that is by far the biggest thing. And my whole thing is I've always been leading by example. I lead by example. I don't have the right to have an opinion unless my numbers match. So in
Yep.
all my videos, I put up my blood pressure, I put up my blood work. I'm a walking testimonial. So, did I answer your question?
You did. I mean, listen. Number one, you corrected a fact for me. The grocery stores. You cleared that up for me, and then you told me more about, like, how you got to where you are today. So yes, you did. Now, I mean, online. Let's talk about this for a second. So you're currently only selling online, to your point, maybe to like Costco or very few in store locations. So with online, I assume you have a whole team doing all your processing when you get orders, etc. Right? So as you know, my
Do you
channel
want
is
me to
called.
answer? Do you want the truth on that one?
Yes. Let's. I mean, please go
Okay.
ahead, and then I'll
It's
keep
Carl.
going.
It's me.
It's you.
Yeah. So I am not a web builder. I built my website. I'm not a video editor. I edit my videos. I use co-packers. These are very large
Hmm.
companies that do the production,
Hmm.
but I'm the one dealing with the truck. It's all email based. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of phone
Hmm.
calls. So when I do a production run, then it goes in the warehouse. I have a thing called smart warehousing where the orders come through my website, automatically goes in there. So it's not a lot hands on every day, but
Hmm.
it's me.
Okay, wow. I did not expect that part. So, to finish my question, it was about automation, and you kind of started touching on it. So tell us more about this, because obviously AI is helping you a ton. Yes, it's only you, you're very hands-on, but you're getting some automation done. So tell me more about that. Which AI tools are you using, and how has it benefited you from like when you first started to now?
So yeah, like when an order comes in, I don't touch it. It comes on the
Okay.
website. I know what order comes up. Then it automatically imports into the warehouse, and then the warehouse does the shipping, and then automatically puts the tracking number in. So I don't touch the orders at all. That is
Okay.
all automatic. Okay, and these systems take a while. See, the whole thing in life, it's all about systems. If you want to build and scale something, you have to create systems where you can duplicate it. So
Hmm.
whether you're doing one or you're doing 1,000, you have to have the system to be able to put that together. And so
Hmm.
that's what I've really used. Oops. That's what I've really used to be able to scale this. Now,
Okay.
the R&D portion of it, that's not a system. I've got to work within an R&D team, and it's really funny. I'm like old school. Like I prefer to work with one person. But when I go to R&D, I'm working with a whole team. And as you know, my personality is very different, you know, and you have to be aware like and how do I say this eloquently? I did a video on TikTok. It's got 1 million views, one video, and there's 5,000 people took time to hate me. And what I said was very profound. When I was heavy, I hated somebody in shape. So a lot of times when I'm in a relationship, right away I can tell there's going to be a situation just based on their appearance,
Hmm.
and I have to be very cognizant of that. So when I do R&D, I'm working with whole teams, and it's just me, and it's a little more difficult. So I like automation. It's to be able to you can whether I'm doing one order or 1,000 orders, it doesn't make any difference. It's automatic.
Wow. All right. So, a couple more questions there. So, R&D, pretty much it's you and you work with a team. When it comes to the orders, this is pretty much automated. But there are other aspects of it. So, there's R&D, and also there's like you have to go from R&D to the manufacturing stage, right?
Yes.
Where are your products manufactured? Oh, in the US?
Yeah, I have five locations in the United States, different co-packers. Like one does the cookie, and one does the burrito, and one does the bowl. and then you always want to have a backup because sometimes relationships fall or companies fall or
Yeah, yeah,
whatever.
of course.
But where I do use a lot of AI, a lot every day, is I use AI for my videos. I don't pick the topics.
Right.
I go on there, it tells me the topics. So I go off that topic and then I use my knowledge. I don't use AI to give me, I use the topic, then I
Hmm.
fill in the script. And then when I put it into YouTube, then it'll do the AI does the tags, AI does the description. Like it is
Hmm.
all AI, but it's centered around my content. My like
Yep.
like today was why one of three kids have diabetes. So that's the name. It came from AI. I create all the content. I'm gonna shoot that video afterwards. I'll launch it tomorrow. So
Hmm.
AI is huge in my business, but YouTube just really, really came down on AI videos. Like really, really bad. You use it as a tool, you don't use it to create the video. If that makes sense to
Gotcha.
me.
Yep. Yep.
AI,
100%.
in my humble opinion, is a great asset, but it's not the end all be all.
100%. It needs the right prompts. It needs the right direction, pretty much, to deliver
Yes.
what you want it to deliver.
Like I
100%.
wouldn't know the tags that go to that thing, but it automatically puts all the tags in there. Like does everything for me other than the content. The content comes from here.
Yep. And do you see a noticeable difference when you use AI to create the tags or before? I guess the answer is yes.
So remember the first 6 months? Like I have a big ego, Carl. Okay, I really do. I'm
Uh-huh.
the first one to admit it. I have a big ego. I like being the biggest guy in the gym. Okay, whatever. Nobody's watching my videos. I was butthurt,
Crushing.
dude. I was like, man, I thought I was the man. I'm nobody. Okay, so yeah, AI gives me the subjects that's trending. AI gives me the tags, gives me everything, takes all the guesswork out. So I don't do like today. I did a video, and I've decided in the next 3 months I'm going to get to 8% body fat. Okay, that's what I've decided to do.
Okay.
So I did a video on that. Now there really wasn't anything on AI that could kind of help me, but usually what I do is every day I go into there and it tells me the subject and then it does everything for me.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. And listen. So in your industry, obviously, even though yes, you're in food, but you have pretty much your marketing machine because ultimately you need to let people know about what you're doing, about your
Yes.
product, about your story, in order for them to buy in and purchase, right?
Yes.
So AI right now, that's where you're leveraging it the most. It's to be able to market, to create that image, and really just as a guidance onto, for example, the keywords. That's a must if you want people to find you. So
Yes. And
how
I,
do
I
you?
use Google. I do Google ads and Facebook ads, and that's all AI. Meta is all
Okay,
AI.
okay, nice. So you mentioned Nestle as one of the biggest competitors, right?
Yeah.
Um, so that's big guns here. 100% are using AI. Do you have any idea of like how advanced they are in their utilization of AI?
Um, that's a question that's probably beyond the scope of my expertise, but let me put it this way. These companies are run by people that do not care. They don't care about helping people. They don't care. Most of them
Hmm.
are overweight. They've got their own lives. They got health problems. All they're trying to do is make money. And we have to understand is everything in life comes down to money. Like most doctors, people go medical doctors. 4,000 people are dying today under their care. It's not working. And most never take a class in nutrition, and metabolic is causing the problem. Do you kind of see the thing there? And what's interesting is, I kind of think I thought I knew it all, like in bodybuilding, right? In the last 2 years, I study YouTube every day. Psychology, health, fitness, whatever. I've learned a lot of things that has helped me at 61 put muscle on. That I thought I knew. That really is a evolution. So I'm sure they're using it in their marketing. I'm sure they're using it, in a lot of ways.
Hmm.
But fundamentally, their mission statement is not to help people. That's the truth of it, because they wouldn't produce the products they did. You know.
Yeah, understood. Listen, I think you have a lot of valid points, because ultimately these companies was yes, if they're not profitable, unfortunately they're not going to be able to keep the lights on, they're going to close. So yes, the number one focus, I do believe it's business, it's money. So I think compared to you, where you focus on saving people's lives, really, because the diet is everything for me. I've learned this a while back. Definitely not to the extent that you have, but I have that basic understanding that listen, you need to eat well. Um,
So let me
so,
touch on that. So the food industry is based upon consumer demand, right?
mhm,
That's what it's based on.
yep.
8 out of 10 people are obese or fat. They should not be making choices because what they're doing is wrong. And 4 out of 10 of our kids are dying of diabetes. We should not be listening to consumers how to hurt themselves. We should really say, hey guys, this is what's going on, and rather than listen to people that don't know what they're doing, okay, about food choices. I mean, 65% of the food out there is processed.
Yep.
It's a problem. And
So,
it's kind of listening to the wrong people about what to eat.
I mean, listen, I was just in Europe recently, and for me, that's something that I always enjoy because of the food quality there. What are your thoughts there on other countries
You
versus
know, it's really
the US?
interesting. So, glycemic index and the impact on your insulin. Okay, so insulin resistance happens when you keep hammering carbohydrates in processed foods. Your insulin raises, and your body has less effect to bring it down.
Mhm.
In Europe, they have way less ingredients. Okay, bread is healthy in Europe. In the United States, it's not because it's so processed. They've taken all the nutrients out. Then they add back in some nutrients that aren't real, like they're chemicals. So the glycemic index and carbohydrates in urine is drastically lower. So, you know, the carbohydrates that are produced in Europe are much better than the carbohydrates that are produced here.
Mhm.
Now, notwithstanding that, like drinking wine, okay, alcohol is 10 times worse than all drugs combined. That's methamphetamine, cocaine, and heroin. 10 times worse. But it's socially acceptable. One glass of wine is not healthy for you. That's ignorance. So
Mhm.
anywhere where you're drinking a lot, you have not earned the right to an opinion on nutrition because that's hurting your body more than anything. Okay?
Mhm.
And I've been sober for 5 years and I know the difference. And it's amazing. It's amazing. And what's there's so many alternatives now. There's this thing called kava juice, which you get a buzz, right? You can have a good time. No inflammation, no calories, no downside. Okay? Because
And to try
so
one of
Europe,
these.
there's some good things in Europe as far as the carbohydrates,
Hmm.
but I don't think they eat enough protein. I spent 30 days in Europe last year, and I saw a lot of unhealthy people. A lot of unhealthy
Yeah.
people. The gyms aren't real popular there.
Hmm.
The quality of food, I wouldn't say. It's like high fat, high carbohydrate diets for the most part. And the reality is we have teeth for a reason. We're carnivores. High protein. If you want to live longer, go to the gym twice to 3 times a week. 1 hour is 3 hours to your life. It's very simple. And eat high protein. You
Yep.
know.
Oh, I mean, good insight. Good insight on the on the alcohol. I never thought of it that way, but yes, that makes sense because in Europe, yes, they drink. I think for them, wine is a norm. It's a must for dinner, even lunch.
It's like
So I mean,
smoking. There's a
listen,
lot of smokers in Europe, and like,
that too,
there's no
that too.
reason to smoke. That is the grossest form of ignorance. It is. You're putting smoke in your lungs, okay? And it's the one of the worst things you do to your body. But a lot of people do it because it's socially acceptable, and it's horrible. You can see people's wrinkles, and it's just I don't know. I
I
have a
couldn't
different
agree more.
perspective. Like I'm
Ye-
61. I got 30 years in me. I'm gonna live every day like it's my last.
Listen, I love it, man. I think for me, 100% we can agree on the smoking. Not interested, never been, never will be. I mean, listen, I could talk to you for probably like, 5 hours or more. But as a wrap-up question here, you mentioned that you've done so many things already. But what's next for the fitness meal?
I'm I'm looking to create some charity events and build awareness to diabetes. I've recently got into a social circle that have very deep pockets and they care about these things.
Hmm.
Okay. And so I'm really going to continue to work getting the word out. My goal with my channel is to start interviewing high profile people to get the word out and to get education out, um, and continue living life to its fullest. And for me, I've done so much and now I have perspective, but I'm really looking forward to expanding, making a difference. I hope somebody sees this video and says, man, I want to hear what that guy says, because that's how the word's going to get out. Because The one thing I know about myself is I have a lot of skills and I have a lot of faults, and I'm humble enough to admit those. And every day I work on being a better human being. And I want to help people live longer, and I want to help people feel like me.
Well, that's amazing, William. I mean, listen, I'm happy. I'm happy that you got my email. I'm happy that we're doing this right now.
Yeah.
And listen, man, I think you're onto something special here, and I really wish you the best of luck. And I know that will not be the last time that we communicate because you will come back on this channel. And we want to. I'm sure our listeners are going to want to get some updates on the fitness meal, but also on what you're doing with your life because clearly there's always something exciting.
Well, I appreciate it, Carl. I really, I'm impressed with you, and I appreciate you taking the time with me.